Okay, welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, that's July 9th, 2025. We're cutting through some of the noise. We want to get to the critical stuff impacting, the global economy, geopolitics.
Absolutely. And the big theme today, I think, is pretty clear, is trade and energy shifts.
Definitely. It all seems to circle back to these new U.S. tariff actions, doesn't it? And how everyone's reacting.
That's the dominant story for sure.
So let's unpack that first. President Trump announced a significant expansion of U.S. trade policy.
Yeah, significant is the word. What are we talking about specifically?
We're looking at a new 50% tariff on imported copper. 50%.
Wow.
And also new duties on semiconductors and pharmaceuticals.
Oh.
The deadline is firm, August 1st.
So coming up very quickly. And this isn't just tweaking things around the edges.
Not at all. It's a really bold move, and you can already see the global repercussions starting.
That's precisely it. What I find fascinating is just how fast other countries are responding.
Oh, yeah.
And, in really different ways. Some are digging in their heels, others are, well, scrambling.
And the contrast there is really striking, isn't it? Like, you take Malaysia.
What's their approach?
They're holding firm, refusing to cross their own red lines.
Which cover things like digital taxes, right?
Yeah.
And halal certification.
Exactly. Digital taxes, halal certification, even their own procurement standards. Stuff they see as fundamental.
And they're sticking to that even with the potential 25% U.S. tariff hanging over them.
That's the report, holding firm despite that threat.
Okay, that's one side. But are other nations following suit? Or are we seeing more negotiation?
Well, that's the interesting part. On the complete other hand, you've got Indonesia.
Right. And they're facing a 32% tariff. Is that it?
Yeah, an impending 32%. And they're actively pushing for that to be reduced.
How? Are they offering something in return?
They are offering concessions like tariff cuts on U.S. goods coming into Indonesia and promising billions in new purchases.
So a very different strategy. Really highlights the complexity, doesn't it? No single reaction.
Definitely a multi-speed global response to these protectionist moves.
Indeed. And if we zoom out a bit, look at the bigger players. The European Union.
What are they up to?
Well, they're already talking closely with the U.S., trying to navigate this, figure out scenarios.
Makes sense. Preparing for different outcomes, seeking exemptions before that August deadline hits.
Exactly. And you can feel these tariff jitters in the markets, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. Oil prices, for example, we saw Brent dip a bit.
Yeah, down to $70.08 a barrel.
Yeah.
And WTI fell to $68.25.
Now, that might seem small, but for the oil market.
Which is so sensitive to this stuff, yeah. Even a slight move like that shows real concern, maybe prioritizing stability over just supply and demand right now.
And Asian markets.
Mixed performance, really reflecting all this uncertainty swirling around.
Right. But it's not just trade wars making headlines. There are these almost quieter but equally important shifts happening in energy.
You're absolutely right. It's like a parallel track running alongside the trade disputes.
So what are we seeing there?
Well, for instance, the UAE reported something interesting. Those recent OPEC plus production increases.
Yeah.
They're apparently being fully absorbed by the market.
So demand is holding up despite everything.
Seems like it. It's a sign that, despite trade fears, the underlying economy might still be quite robust. Maybe pushes back against recession talk a bit.
That's a key point. Gives producers a bit more leverage, too, maybe.
Potentially, yes.
And then you mentioned countries like Turkey, rapidly expanding renewables.
Yes, Turkey's big push into renewable power capacity. That's significant.
Why is this so important in the bigger picture?
Well, think about it. It drastically cuts their reliance on imported natural gas.
So energy independence.
Exactly. And that directly challenges the established gas exporters, people who've relied on selling to Turkey. It could reshape energy security, particularly in that region, maybe even impacting Europe long term.
Shows countries actively looking for ways to kind of de-risk their energy supply.
Diversify, reduce dependencies. It's a smart strategic move.
But while these economic and energy plates are shifting, we also get these stark reminders about, global stability.
Yeah.
Geopolitical flashpoints.
Unfortunately, yes. These things don't happen in a vacuum.
We just got news about a critical incident off Yemen. The bulk carrier Eternity Sea.
Oh, what happened?
Liberia flagged, Greek operated. It sank after a Houthi attack. Rescue efforts are underway for the crew.
That's terrible news. And it really underscores the danger in those shipping lanes, doesn't it? The Bab el-Mandeb Strait.
Vital corridor. An attack like this. It has knock-on effects.
Huge effects. Insurance costs skyrocket, supply chains have to reroute. It impacts everything, consumer goods, industrial parts, you name it. Just shows how quickly global events can intersect and cause disruption.
And spinning the globe closer to Europe, there's France.
Yet the domestic political situation there, it's still chaotic, isn't it?
It really is. And it's not just internal anymore. It's actually causing France to lag behind other EU economies.
Investors getting nervous?
Seems like it. Investors are looking elsewhere towards more stable environments. It puts pressure on the whole EU's financial stability, really, at a time when they need cohesion.
So if we try and pull all these threads together,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway?
Yeah, what does it all mean?
I mean, it feels like the global landscape is just incredibly fluid right now, a period of really intense flux.
You've got these interconnected shifts,
Yeah.
trade policy changing dramatically,
Energy dynamics evolving very fast.
and these persistent geopolitical hotspots flaring up. It's a complex picture.
It really is a
Look,
constantly shifting tapestry.
exactly. And what this deep dive really shows, I think, is how things that seem separate, a tariff debate here, a clean energy project there, a sad maritime incident over there, they're all actually interwoven, part of this bigger, evolving global story.
A story that affects all of us, right? Often in ways we don't immediately see.
Definitely. It impacts everyone.
So here's something for you listening to maybe think about this week. As these global trade policies keep shifting, these tariffs get adjusted. How might that specifically reshape things in your own life? Not just the big international supply chains, but maybe the prices of everyday goods you buy,
Yeah.
the services you use. It's a ripple effect worth pondering.